Second PUC. Next lesson is P block elements. Under this we have 15, 16, 17, 18 group elements. The overall weightage is 10 marks, and specially for group 15 elements 3 marks, that is 1 3 marks question. Now here we are going to discuss about 15th group elements. What are 15th group elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. I will repeat: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. See this one, you are saying antimony, but original name is stibium, and bismuth. So these are 15th group elements, are also called nitrogen family. These elements are also called nicogens. Nicogens, P silent. So what is the meaning of nicogens? When you inhale these elements, 15th group elements, then we will get suffocation. So we will get breathing problems. Mainly remember that word suffocation. These are suffocating elements. So that's why these are called nicogens. The meaning of nicogens is suffocating. Now here the compounds formed by 15th group elements are also called pnictides. Once again P is silent. Pnictides. Now come to the point. First we will discuss what are the atomic numbers and electronic configurations of all these elements. Number 1, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Now here atomic number of nitrogen is 7, phosphorus 15, arsenic 33, antimony 51, the last one bismuth, that is 83. Now 7, 15, 33, 51, 83. So if you remember these atomic numbers, then we can identify next 16th group elements atomic number as well as 14th group also. And one more technique to remember all these atomic numbers is, here between 7 and 15 the difference is 8, and here the difference is 18, and next difference is also 18. Last difference is 32. If you remember these differences, easily you can recognize atomic numbers of all these elements. Now here 7, 15, 33, 51, 83. So what is the general electronic configuration of 15th group? Why these elements are called 15th group elements? Here number of electrons present in last orbit are 5. So you remember, if you know the group number, you can say number of electrons present in last orbit. Other point is, if you know the group number, you can identify its maximum oxidation state also, or you can say maximum valency also. For all 15th group elements, the maximum valency is 5 or maximum oxidation state is +5. Now general electronic configuration is ns2np3. Here number of electrons present in s orbital are 2 and 3 p orbitals, total 3 electrons. Here it contains 1 lone pair and 3 unpaired electrons. Because of this completely filled and half filled orbitals, 15th group elements are stable than nearer group elements. Now here half filled orbitals we have, that indicates more stability. Now come to electronic configurations here. The first one, nitrogen, helium 2s2 2p3. We know that helium 2 plus total 5, 7 electrons. Next one, neon 3s2 3p3. Next, arsenic, argon 4s2 3d10 4p3. As we know that after completion of 4s, next electron enters into 3d. After that, next one electron enters into 4p. Next one, krypton. Here it is 5s2 4d10 5p3. Last one, xenon 6s2. After 6s2, next electron enters into 4f, next 5d, and last 6p. Now see all these electronic configurations: 2s2 2p3, 3s2 3p3, 4s2 4p3, 5s2 5p3 and 6s2 6p3. That's why the general electronic configuration is ns2np3. Now here, regarding all these elements, nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Arsenic and stibbium both are semi-metals. Last one, that is bismuth, this is pure metal. So nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals, arsenic and antimony are semi-metals or metalloids, bismuth is pure metal. As you are moving down the group, metallic nature increases. Now other one, what is atomicity? Nitrogen exists as N2, that's why its atomicity is 2. Phosphorus as P4, arsenic as As4, stibbium as Sb4, that's why these are all tetraatomic. Our atomicity is 4. Bismuth is pure metal, that's why atomicity is 1. Now here we can discuss a point, that is, as you are moving down the group, generally atomicity increases, but the ability to form multiple bonds decreases, because in the nitrogen molecule we have a triple bond, but for all other elements only single bonds are possible in the elemental state. I will repeat this: as you are moving down the group, atomicity increases, but the ability to form multiple bonds decreases. Now come to next point, that is occurrence of all these elements. Now generally nitrogen is available in the form of N2, that is nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas is present in air nearly 78% by volume. Now next one, nitrogen is also present in the form of nitrates. This is nitrate ion, NO3 minus. Examples are KNO3. This is commonly called Indian saltpeter. NaNO3, this is called chili saltpeter. Even nitrogen is also available in proteins. So once again, nitrogen gas is available in the atmosphere, that is in air, nearly 78% by volume. Nitrogen is available in the form of nitrates, that is KNO3, Indian saltpeter, NaNO3, chili saltpeter. Nitrogen is the major element in proteins also. What about phosphorus? Phosphorus is available in the form of phosphates. So the formula of phosphate ion is PO4 minus 3. Example is apatite family. What is apatite family? Formula is 3Ca3 PO4 taken twice CaX2. So this is the main component of phosphate rock also, phosphate rock. Now here don't consider this as only halogen, that is X, where X is either fluorine, chlorine or OH group also. This is apatite family compounds. This we can write as Ca9, PO4 taken 6 times, CaX2 also. If X is fluorine, then that is called fluorapatite. If X is chlorine, that is called chlorapatite. If X is OH, that is hydroxyapatite. So all these are having same formula. I will repeat this. Phosphorus is present in the form of phosphate ions or phosphates. Examples are apatite family. This is the general formula. Now even phosphorus is present in bones, eggs and milk also. I'll repeat, bones, eggs and milk also. So nitrogen, phosphorus. What about remaining 3 elements? Those are arsenic, antimony and bismuth. They are available in the form of sulfides. Sulfide ion is S-2. Next, general properties of 15th group elements. The first point is atomic size. As we are moving down the group, atomic size increases because in every case you are getting a new orbit. Now next point is ionization enthalpy. As atomic size increases from top to bottom, ionization enthalpy decreases. Next, electron gain enthalpy. As atomic size increases, electron gain enthalpy decreases. Third one, electronegativity. Electronegativity also decreases. Among all these elements, nitrogen is having more electronegativity because of its small size. So, as you are moving down the group, atomic size increases, nuclear force of attraction decreases. That's why all these three properties are inversely proportional to atomic size. As atomic size increases, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity decreases. Now, what is metallic nature? Metallic nature is, as atomic size increases, metallic nature also increases. Now, what are physical properties? Generally, nitrogen is a diatomic gas, remaining all are solids at room temperature. Arsenic, stibbium and phosphorus, these three are tetraatomic, but bismuth is monoatomic. As you are moving down the group, generally boiling point also increases. As atomic size increases, boiling point also increases. But regarding melting points increases from nitrogen to arsenic and then decreases to bismuth. Here increases, here decreases. So, once again, melting points increases from nitrogen to arsenic, then decreases to bismuth. This is due to inert pair effect that we will discuss in oxidation stage. Now, next point is oxidation stage, or you can say oxidation number. The general electronic configuration of 15th group elements is EnS2, EnP3. In ground state, number of electrons in s orbital are 2 and in p orbitals are 3. So, the number of unpaired electrons in ground state are 3. That's why in ground state, these elements can show both -3 as well as +3 oxidation states. Especially the major oxidation state of nitrogen is -3 because this is more electronegative element in the group. Now, come to excited state. In excited state, one electron jumps from s orbital to next d orbital. That's why the total number of unpaired electrons are 5. That's why these elements they can show +5 oxidation state. So, here number of unpaired electrons are 3. That's why -3 and +3. Here number of unpaired electrons are 5. That's why this is +5. Why not -5? Any element in its excited state shows only positive oxidation state because these electrons are excited to donate electrons, not to gain electrons. If any more electronegative element attacks on this particular element, that element withdraws electrons and this element donate electrons. To donate electrons, it undergoes excitation. So always remember, in excited state, any element shows only positive oxidation states. The common oxidation states of 15th group elements are -3, +3 and +5. Now, if you are moving down the group from nitrogen to bismuth, the stability of +3 oxidation state increases and +5 decreases. I will repeat, the stable oxidation state of bismuth is +3 rather than +5. This is because of inert pair effect. So what is inert pair effect here? For example, this is nucleus, first orbit, second orbit, third one, fourth one, last orbit. What is last orbit electronic configuration here? NS2, NP3. In NS, 2 electrons, P, 3 electrons. Now here, as number of orbits increases, number of D and F orbitals increases. So the shielding effect order is S orbital, next P, next D, last one F. So this is shielding effect order or screening effect also. What is this? Here, if any atom contains more number of S and P orbitals, these S and P orbitals, they can stop or they can protect the last orbit from nucleus. That's why nuclear force of attraction is less on last orbit. As number of D and F orbitals increases, because of poor shielding effect of D and F orbitals, the nuclear force of attraction increases on last orbit. If nuclear force of attraction increases on last orbit, then this electron cannot excite to d orbital. That's why we can't get +5 oxidation state, because here nucleus is pulling electrons towards itself more because of poor shielding effect of d and f orbitals. This pair cannot be excited. This pair is inert here. That's why this is called inert pair effect. Now here, this is the reason for melting point order also. Generally, melting point increases from nitrogen to arsenic and then decreases to bismuth because of inert pair effect. So, due to poor shielding effect of d and f orbitals, nuclear force of attraction is more on last orbit. That's why this electron cannot be excited. That's why +5 oxidation state is unstable for last elements, especially bismuth. The stable oxidation state of bismuth is +3 rather than +5. And here, why can't -3 oxidation state for bismuth? Because bismuth is a metal, that's why always it donate electrons, it won't take. So these are oxidation states of 15th group elements. Now a special case is nitrogen can exhibit all the oxidation states from -3 to +5. The covalency of nitrogen is 4. That means a nitrogen atom can form 4 bonds. So minus 3, for example, ammonia. In ammonia, oxidation state of nitrogen is minus 3. Here, N2O5, nitrogen pentoxide, their oxidation state of nitrogen is plus 5. Now here, nitrogen from plus 1 oxidation state to plus 4 oxidation state, it undergoes disproportionation. Now for example, 3 moles of nitrous acid on dissociation gives nitric acid, nitric oxide and water. Now see this one. Here oxidation state of nitrogen is plus 3. Here plus 5. Here plus 2. So here, if oxidation state of nitrogen lies between plus 1 to plus 4, it can undergo disproportionation. What is disproportionation? Here oxidation state of nitrogen is plus 3. This is in the range. That's why it undergoes both oxidation as well as reduction. The element which undergoes both oxidation and reduction in the same reaction called disproportionation redox reaction. So this is a special property of nitrogen. Now next point is anomalous properties of nitrogen. That means how nitrogen is different from other elements present in the same group. Now number 1, small atomic size. So nitrogen is the first element in the given group, that's why atomic size is small. So it is having more electronegativity, more ionization enthalpy, because these two are inversely proportional to atomic size. Third, nitrogen is a gas and remaining all other elements are solids. Next 4, nitrogen can form p-pi bonds in elemental state, but it cannot form p-pi d-pi or d-pi bonds also. It forms only p-pi, not p-pi d-pi or d-pi d-pi bonds, because here non-availability of d orbital. See this? Here d orbital is not available for nitrogen. How electronic configuration is? 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. There is no possibility of 2d. That's why d orbital is non-available. Now next one, nitrogen gas is more stable because in nitrogen gas a triple bond is present. Bond dissociation energy of triple bond is more. This is nearly 941.4 kilojoules. This is more than any other element. In elemental state, nitrogen contains triple bond, but whereas other elements they can form only single bonds. So that's why nitrogen is more stable when compared to remaining elements. So it is also called as less reactive. What is the relation between reactivity and stability? Inversely related. Now here these are some anomalous properties of nitrogen. This is one of the important question for 3 marks. Now here when nitrogen is forming single bond with nitrogen, then bond dissociation energy of single bond is less when compared to single bond present between phosphorus and phosphorus, arsenic and stibbium also. So here atomicity of nitrogen is 2, but for phosphorus, arsenic, antimony 4. But come to this particular point, if nitrogen is forming single bond between phosphorus, arsenic, stibbium, among all these single bonds, phosphorus single bond phosphorus is having more bond dissociation energy. Now in elemental state, nitrogen is having triple bond, that's why its bond dissociation energy is more. But whereas in compound state, when they are forming single bonds, single bond dissociation energy is more for phosphorus than nitrogen. That's why catenation capacity of phosphorus is more than nitrogen. As we know that more the bond dissociation energy, more will be the catenation capacity. Among all these elements, phosphorus is having more catenation than other elements. Why catenation capacity is less for nitrogen here? Because atomic size of nitrogen is very small. These are 2 nitrogen atoms. So the internuclear distance between both the nitrogen atoms is less. So that's why repulsions between electrons, or even you can say internuclear repulsions, are more. If repulsions are more, then easily we can separate these 2 nitrogen atoms. So that's why bond dissociation energy of N single bond N is less than phosphorus. I'll repeat, catenation capacity of nitrogen is less than phosphorus. Our bond dissociation energy of N single bond N is less than phosphorus. Reason is simple, here small atomic size of nitrogen. So this one also we can consider as anomalous property of nitrogen. Among all these elements except nitrogen, remaining all other elements, they can show allotropy, or they are having allotropic modifications. What is allotropy? Same element is available in different physical forms called allotropy. This is not possible for nitrogen. Rest of the elements, they can show allotropy.